we felt that how much important the technology is in this industry. So, I would like to introduce Mr. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, Senior Manager in the Training Department of the Ultimate Knowledge. I'll request Dr. 𝗟𝗶𝗸 to tell about it.
Thank you, TUK, for being the partner of Time2Grow Media. So, we have 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, Senior Manager in Training Department of the Ultimate Knowledge. A little brief profile about 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 has a rich experience of 2 decades, during which he has worked with BPOs, e-learning organizations and IT companies. In his last organization, he has been instrumental in setting up of the L&D department for a Fortune 50 clients. He has conducted a lot of training sessions for many national and international clients over a period of 15 years. He believes that a huge part of his professional vision has been shaped by the kind of leaders he has worked with, and all of them have taught him very important life lessons. He is a voracious reader, traveler, and an avid quizzer. He has conducted quiz competitions in 100+ schools across the country and has received tremendous response from all of them. So he has been the chief editor of a magazine, Prayatna, Be the Change is the mantra he lives by. I wish to call upon Mr. 𝗟𝗟𝗲𝗲 for his presentation. Welcome, sir. Stage is yours, but don't forget my face.
Good morning, everyone. Still morning. There are 2 chocolates in my hands, and there is a purpose to it, but we'll come to that in just a little bit. My name is 𝗟𝗟𝗲𝗲𝗲. I work with the Ultimate Knowledge. Okay. I repeat, my name is 𝗟𝗟𝗲𝗲𝗲. I work with the Ultimate Knowledge. First of all, thank you so very much, Manmeet sir, Mr. Manmeet Khurana, the founder and CEO of Time2Grow Media, for giving us this opportunity to be here and present our views in front of such an august audience. I represent an organization called the Ultimate Knowledge, and there are a lot of things that we do. But today specifically, there is something that I want to talk about. It's called IOLP, which is the abbreviation, and the expanded form is Integrated Online Learning Program. There are a lot of things that you will see in IOLP, but before I get to that, there's a particular question I want to ask. So here's an instance that happened. Anybody from South here, from Kerala? Oh, there's one, okay. Awesome, okay. I was born in Kerala but raised in Delhi. And this particular instance is something that happened in Kerala a couple of years ago. This is a Supreme Court judgment regarding the entry of women in the 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 shrine. And so there was this judgment that had happened. And this is just an example, right? My nephew, who is 10 years old, he on the day of the judgment, when the judgment came, and the next day when it was in the newspapers, he came to me and he asked me, Mama, what's wrong with women from the age of 10 to 50 entering a shrine, a particular shrine? And I'm sure those who have been following the news, you would know why it was not till some time allowed, but then later it was. Now, as a progressive parent or a uncle, I would really want to answer that question, but I wasn't sure if I'll be able to explain that to a 10-year-old. So I said, I just brushed it off under the carpet, and I said, look, you go out and play, you will realize at some particular point of time, which I don't know if it was the right thing or not. The thing is, he said, okay, and sometime later he did find that information. Now, was it right or wrong? We don't know. Was it proper information or not? We don't know. Which probably, as all of us, when we had uncomfortable questions for our parents, when we were young, we asked them, they sometimes also brushed it under the carpet. We also learned a lot of information. How right it was, how wrong was it, we don't know. Was the information child appropriate or not, we don't know. Keeping that in mind is why the creators of TUK IOLP, they created this. So what we have done is, we have, so I have Vaibhav, he's a colleague of mine, he will all be sharing the content on the screen for you. Vaibhav. So it's a portal, it's also an app on Android, so you can also download it at your convenience. You'll see that on your screen. So integrated online learning program. So what we have done is we have divided the content into 4 categories, class 1 and 2, which is one category, 3 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 12. All the content that we put in that is graded according to the age, which means what is appropriate for 1 and 2 is what you will see in class 1 and 2. And as you move to 3 to 5, 6 to 8, and 9 to 12, the content becomes that much difficult and that much more expansive. We've also, with IOLP, what you'll also see is when children read, one thing that we have probably noticed these days is children don't read much as we used to read at some particular point of time. We want that reading habit to come back. And when children read this, the English is written in such a manner which is again age appropriate. You will not find, it's, again of course it's a portal, but there are no ads, no pop-ups, nothing which would distract a child from what he or she should be watching to what he should not be watching. The language is that very easy and again age appropriate. Just scroll down a little bit. Just a little. This is a class 1 and 2. If you could just expand that. So we have content like amazing information, inventions, discoveries. EBS is what we are already covering in this. General knowledge, quotes, buses, sports and buses. I'll come to in just a little while. I was just listening to one of the teachers who were taking pictures with Sir, and where we talked about we've been using books so much, and pre-COVID, none of us really thought mobiles will come to our rescue. When it comes to teaching, books is all that we focused on. And suddenly we realized in the last 2 years, technology has really helped in imparting education. TUK IOP was there even before COVID happened. So it was not something that came up because COVID happened. We realized that online probably, or a blended learning is what really is going to be, the future. That's the kind of content you have. So 1 and 2, then we move to 3 to 5, again, same content, but higher level of content and more categories that we have added. Do children read newspapers these days? They don't. One little danger with reading newspaper is again, all the information is available, and there's a particular age group for which the information is written, which means a 5-year-old is reading the same content which a 6-year-old is also reading. And he or she may again have questions, but that's one thing that we encourage our senior children to read our newspapers, because they really need to know what's happening on a daily basis, because there are a lot of competitive exams that would have current affairs, correct? We include that as well on a daily basis. So not just content which is connected to the syllabus, but there are current affairs. We want children to improve their vocabulary. We have something called Codes Busters, and there's something called Word Hub. Word Hub is we give one English word, its meaning, 3 synonyms and 3 sentences where that word can be used on a daily basis. So if your students are reading that on a daily basis, one thing that we have assured is there will be no wrong information, no incorrect information, no information which is not appropriate for a particular age group, and this content is updated on a daily basis. And that brings me to one question that I have. You saw those 2 chocolates, right? Here's one question, and the right answer for that question is the person who gets this chocolate. So here's the question, which is, but this is the precursor to the first question, which is India's national tree? Banyan tree. Right, so since a lot of people answered, I really can't divide that among so many. But that was not the question, this was a precursor, as I said. The real question is, which is India's national language? Hindi. So, all right, I heard that one. So we will hold that for just a second. The second chocolate comes for, which is India's national sport? Hockey. Okay.
India doesn't have a national sport. It has a Rajbhasha. Yes.
Now, I'm a very small fry in front of such an august gathering of educationists, principals, directors, the who's who of the education sector in and around Nagpur. And I'm sure you would understand that as small children, we usually look up to the information that we get from our teachers. And I'm sure this may have happened in your families as well, that when you are teaching something to your son or a daughter, which is different from what his or her teachers may have taught, they will say, no dad, no mom, you're wrong because my teacher taught me something else. And they are the right. That's right. That's the amount of trust that they have. For your information, India does not have a national sport. For your information, India does not have a national language. That's part of the constitution. But look who I'm talking to, right? And if this information was a misinformation or a disinformation which has disseminated from generations, from I don't know, whenever you started studying till now, I'm sure that, think about the condition of the teachers and then the information that could be going to the students. Keeping that in mind is what we have created 𝐄𝐝𝐢𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐧. You will not find an information which is wrong, you will not find an information which is incorrect. That being said, today someone could be the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, tomorrow it could be different, someone else. Today the information would be so and so is the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. If there is an update, if there is a correction, if there is a change, we bring that up as well in 𝗄𝐝𝐢𝐭𝐢𝐨. It's available all the time, 24 hours. We also give you quarterly syllabus. We give you twice, half yearly and final question papers that we prepare. And support is available Monday to Friday, 9 to 6. A lot of content. Someone's just ghosted me. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲. Okay. So I did hear someone say India does not have a national language. Yes, ma'am, I saw you. And someone said, no, hockey is not India's national sport. Yes. Ma'am, I can't give both of them to you. It's like sugar, too much of sugar. Okay, but you take just one. All right, ma'am, you can. I'm coming over to you to give these two chocolates to you. Yes, that would be so nice if you could applaud people of everybody on the side. Too much sugar? More for you. Thank you. If you don't like it, you could return that. If you don't like it, you can return. I can. A chocolate, of course. Whichever age group. So apart from 𝗄𝐝𝐢𝐭𝐢𝐨, we also are into publishing. So we have two of our publications, The Ultimate Knowledge, TUK publications and Medalist publications. Of course, my colleagues are outside with fantastic content that, and very, very quickly and briefly, of course, all our books are NEP 2020 compliant. They have, augmented reality content, which means if you move, that scanned thing on any paper, you find absolutely brilliant stuff, things coming to life. But if I would talk about that, my colleagues out there, they would kill me. So I will let them do that part, and you will see it, the content and updated content, of course. Yeah, so while we love technology, this is, it can sometimes be a boon, sometimes be a bane, which is what we're noticing right now. All right, so content. But since I spoke so much, 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, do you think anything that I may have missed out or covered? I do. Thank you so much. Annually, we also conduct something called IAT. The full form is International Aptitude Test. This is available to all the schools, all the institutions that will be subscribing to our IOLP all books. It's free of cost. It's conducted across the globe for a lot of different subjects. So it's more of a Olympiad, but much bigger and a wider scale. A lot of students, attempt that. We have been doing that for the last 2 years. We also want to do it this year as well. So that's part of the whole package. There are no charges for IAT if you would be a subscriber school or something. Anything else? We more or less covered. Any questions that you have so far of what you've heard? Any questions regarding IOLP or the books? We'll be very happy to address. But after you teach, I'm sure this is, and I'm really wrapping it up now. last 30 seconds. Lot of principals sitting here, I assume. When you are governing or when you are administrating a particular school, and when you are especially focusing on the academic part, you would also want to kind of have an idea or a control of what the teachers are teaching, how many of my students are reading what, studying what, are they improving, are they not improving. A bird's eye view from a very top position. They give you something called a monitoring dashboard, which means all the principals, the teachers, the coordinators will get an access to the content, and you would see what the students are doing at any given point of time. May I very humbly add, it's not spying, it's about what you, because the content is about academics. For example, I as a student, if I'm reading a particular article, just show current affairs if you can, if I'm reading a particular article, how much time have I spent on it? There are assessments in it. All our content also has videos. So not just the reading part, there is a video, then at the end there is an assessment. And has a student read the chapter, read the article? Has he watched the video? Has he attempted the questions? How many questions were right, how many were wrong? Can he take it again? Yes, he can, as many number of times as he wants. And how has the progress been? And at a particular age or stage, for example, let's say someone is in 8th or 9th, is when we really ask them, Aage kya karna chahte ho? What is where your inclination is? The kind of content that we have, when you see that a particular child is reading content for, let's say science, or let's say regarding arts, you don't really have to wait till class 8th or 9th to figure out what is the child's interest levels like. That monitoring dashboard will tell you what are the content that he is watching more, what are the content that he is reading more, and is he going in the right direction? If he's not, you would have checks and balances there where you will be able to bring it to the notice of the teacher and say, hey, I see that this student is reading something else, which is not what he should be. So this is the correction methodology that you can get into. So all of that is available here. Finally, all of you are experts in a lot of subjects. Somebody could be great in physics, someone could be mathematics, but your expertise right now is limited to the number of students or teachers that you have in your school. However, we give you an open invitation. If you read the content of our portal and if you realize that this particular portion is fairly handled, but could have been handled better, the language isn't great, but this could be done better, feel free to contact us. Write to us some content. We will put it on our portal with your name, your school. The best part is right now IOLP is used by about 50,000 plus students, or probably even more across the country. When you write an article and put some content in it, that information would be read by 50,000 plus students, many thousand plus teachers and principals. Why should your information or your knowledge be limited to the school that you are right now working in? Why not? That's knowledge, no? And I'm wrapping it up with that line that Amir Khan said in 3 Idiots. Gyan har jagah bad raha hai, kahin bhi baith ke you can bator lo. So let not your knowledge be limited to where you are, but it's like a candle. A candle does not lose its light by lighting other candles. So go ahead, forth, use our portal, help us, help everyone to spread the light of knowledge. Thank you so very much. You've been a very, very patient audience. Have a good day.